Hello there, this is Harry Du. In my last video, I created a dossier and pushed the dossier into a user's library. So this is dossier I published into my Atlanta users library. If I go to the library, you see this dossier here. Its dossier name is call center dossier. And right now, the Atlanta user can see all the call centers. If I want, the Atlanta user can only see the call center of Atlanta, and the Miami user can only see the call center of Miami call center data. I can use security filter. So let me show you how to do it in Python SDK. So here I'm going to include a bunch of libraries. So connection, I use connection class to create a connection. I use the class in the security filter class, security module to create a security filter and also apply the security filter to user. I use the list user to list all the users. I'll use this to find the user by ID. I also use some class in module to look up the attribute and attribute ID and attribute form ID. Okay, so first create a connection. Here, create connection object. I can list all the security filter I have. So here, list all the security filter I have. So if I want to look up the information about this filter, region is source, I can look up the security filter by ID or by name. So if I do this, you show this is a security filter found with this ID. I can also find security filter by name. So this is the security filter. It's the same security filter. Okay, so next, I'm going to explore some properties on the security filter. So on the security filter class, you can see the documentation. You can list the properties of the security filter. So this is the security filter I just searched, right? This is security filter. This is the name is region is source. So I can look up the properties using this list property method on the security filter class. So it lists a bunch of properties, name, description, ID, type, and ACL, some other properties. Okay, total user use is no one is using the security filter yet. I can also list the security filter's qualification. It's an expression, right? Region is source. There's no user is using this, and there's no member. Okay, so next I'm going to create a security filter. In order to create a security filter, I need to get some attribute ID. The filter expression I want to create is the call center. The call center's form ID equals to 7. That's for Miami call center filter. 1. That's Atlanta call center. If you look up the grid, you see Atlanta form ID is 1, and the Miami form ID is form ID value is 7. Okay, so I'm going to use this method. If you need to look up this attribute ID, form ID, you can use the list attribute function in model module. So you can see I can list all the attributes I have access to, and I can find a call center, and I can grab ID. So this is the ID I am going to use, right? With the ID, I can find the attribute. So with the ID, I can find attribute. And the attribute name is call center, and also the first form is ID. So I can find the form's ID, right? Form's ID is the same as this, right? Okay, so in order to create a security filter, I need to create a filter expression qualification. So the one I'm going to use is attribute form predicate. It's an attribute form selection, attribute form selection expression. So the expression is like a call center, form ID is 1, that's for Atlanta. Call center form ID is 7, that's for Miami. There are also other predicate you can use in the Python SDK. So in this demo, I'm going to use attribute form predicate. Okay, so this is the expression I'm going to create. This function, this constructor created a predicate, and function I'm going to use is equals to apply this on the attribute, and attribute ID is this, and I think name is optional. Yeah, so name attribute ID is this, name is call center, and also the form. Okay, attribute form ID is this, and also type is attribute form. So this is the expression I'm going to use. And then after I have an expression, I will call SecurityFilter dot create, and with the connecting information, with the qualification expression I'm going to create, and also giving the name of the filter, security filter I'm going to use, and the destination folder where I want to put this security filter. I think all of these are required. If I see the documentation of create, you can look up the documentation of the create method. So if I okay, let's print the security filter dot create, right, and the documentation of this function. So this is documentation of this function. Name is required. Destination folder is also required. Qualification is required. Description is optional, and all other parameters are optional. Okay, so it will return security filter object. Okay, so let's try to do this. So first, I will create a I will call this to create some constants. I'm going to use this to create my first expression, first qualification. I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use value 1, right? Attribute and form ID. Okay, just double check. Okay, I have a qualification now. Now let me also define a folder. So I'm going to put this in this folder. Next, let me clear output for this one. Okay, next I'm going to create a security filter. This is my first security filter. Okay. Okay, the security filter is created. It's called Miami Call Center, right? I can create another security filter. So I will just simply change the name and value here. So name will be, value will be 2, right? Name will be qualification, yeah, and name will be 2, okay. All right, here it will be 2. I'll create a new qualification and I'll create a new filter. I'll put it in the same folder. Okay, so now I create another security filter. So if you look at the, if I fetch the list of security filters, so now I have an Atlanta call center, which is new, and also a Miami call center, right, which is also new. So this is ID. Remember this ID. So if I want to, I can fetch the ID of the Atlanta call center. I can also fetch by name. So I can, yeah. So let me fetch by name. So I can fetch a security filter by name. It's called Atlanta call center. That's right. So the first security filter, right? Let's find the user. So the user I want to apply this security filter on is the user called Atlanta. The username is Atlanta. So I can use this user constructor, passing the connection and the username to find the user. So if I list the user 1, if I find you, like the user 1 is Atlanta call center manager, and I'm going to apply this security filter I just created on the user 1. So it will apply this security filter on user 1. So let's run this. Now the user 1 has the security filter. The same thing, I can find another user. It's Miami. So the name is username is Miami manager, right? And also I can apply. I will find the security filter named Miami call center and apply this on user 2. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, now this two, the security filter is applied on the different user, right? So let's check. So I think I need to relog in, but anyway, I can try to run. So if I try to run this, this is the Atlanta call center user, right? So if I run this, I need to log in. So I need to log out and log in again to see the effect. let me log out. First, check Atlanta user, login, and open this dossier. See, I'm only able to see the Atlanta call center, right? If I log in to Miami call center, okay. Now, I open this dossier. You see, I'm only see the Miami user, right? And Miami call center data. If I log out and if I log in as the administrator, okay. If I log in as administrator, which I don't have a security filter on, right? So I can open this dossier and I can see all the call center data. Okay, so that's how you can use the create a security filter and apply the security filter on the user using Python SDK. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in next video. Bye.